Now, China has stopped issuing short-term visas to individuals from South Korea and Japan in retaliation for COVID restrictions on the Chinese travelers. China says the pause on South Korean visas will remain in place until what they call quote-unquote discriminatory entry restrictions against China are lifted. Now, Japan and South Korea are not the only countries imposing entry requirements on travelers from China, where COVID cases are surging, but their measures are among the most stringent. Last week, South Korea stopped issuing tourist visas for those coming in from China, which the Chinese foreign minister called unacceptable and unscientific. All right, Sanjeev Srivastava, a foreign policy expert, is live with us. Sanjeev Srivastava, there's no surprise that China is irked by the restrictions which have been put by South Korea and Japan on travelers coming in from China. This is in the wake of the COVID pandemic, numbers upticking in China once again. Do you think that it's time that the world takes a cue from South Korea and Japan and imposes similar strict restrictions on passengers coming in from China, considering the cases are rising in China exponentially, and China, as always, is surreptitious and is shying away from revealing the exact numbers to the world?
Well, China is again showing irresponsible, reckless behavior. The kind of criminal acts they have done with regard to COVID from day one, from 2019 onwards, they are continuing with the same. And they have been responsible for spreading this virus all across the world. And now, at this point of time, when the world is becoming cautious with regard to dealing with this new variant of coronavirus, they are putting retaliatory, measures. And this shows against how irresponsible actor of the international community China is. And obviously, no matter whether China, what action China is taking, I think international community, the world cannot take this new variant lightly. And I think, as you said very correctly, I completely agree with you that we should continue taking measures, strict measures against travelers, those who are coming from China. These are not measures which are being taken against that particular individual who is traveling from China, but these are precautionary measures which the international community is taking, which the South Korea was taking, which Japan was taking, United States and other countries are taking. And no matter what China does with regard to retaliation, etc., I think our response to this new variant must be strict, and that new variant of this virus cannot be allowed to travel all across, no matter what China does. I think China is again showing a very reckless, irresponsible behavior, that this kind of behavior will be heavily criticized yet again. China is the center of criticism. China is responsible for spreading this virus. China has hidden information about this virus from day one. They have committed a crime, a kind of a crime against humanity by conspiring to of this spread of this virus. So I think China is continuing with this same kind of behavior. China is known for it, is infamous for this kind of behavior. But no matter, as I said, what China does, I think international community cannot take this new variant lightly, and we will continue. I think we all must continue, all the democratic countries, all international community members, they must take strict measures to check this virus from going other cities and other countries of the world.
Right. And, Sanjeev Srivastava, when we are speaking about strict action against China, what do you think should be the role of international organizations, perhaps say like the UN, like the WHO? The World Health Organization has been a mute spectator. Many would say that it had even naively or perhaps knowingly bought into China's theories at the beginning of the pandemic. All of those theories have turned out to be false. Do you think it's time now that the world and these international organizations unite and make China pay for the COVID pandemic?
Certainly, I think I completely agree with you. China has done a kind of a crime against humanity, and there must be a demand for reparations from China because of the China's reckless, irresponsible behavior, their policy of hiding information, suppressing information, releasing this information about coronavirus 2 months later after it broke out in China in Wuhan. So I think China is responsible for spreading of this virus. And because of the Chinese behavior, a lot of members of the people of international community, they have suffered. We all have lost our near and dear ones.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.